Hey everyone, here's the first video update for fall 2024, and we have a lot to cover. If you remember my previous live stream, I may have seemed a little bit discouraged. It's been the summer and I'm a lot more inclined to do things outside rather than inside. But finally, I now realize what was going on. I was letting my mind percolate here, and I was thinking what I wanted to do with this aquarium, what direction I want to take it in, and what you see in front of you right now is kind of the result of all of my thinking. It's been a long weekend here in North America, and I spent part of it working on the tank. I've clocked in quite a few hours, and you can see the end result, or I think this is at least the temporary result until I make a few more changes. But there's not a lot of changes when it comes to fish, although as you can see the dynamics here between the powder blue and powder brown has changed. For a while powder brown was being bullied by powder blue, but now you can see powder blue is becomes less dominant, and you can see it's actually starting to thin. I feed a lot, and you can see the rest of the fish are okay, but that's just where things are with these two fish, which is concerning. And I think I'm gonna increase my feeding, but I've been there before. When those things start, it's a 50-50 chance. If I'll be able to get them caught, but it's not easy in a tank as heavily stocked as this one with corals and rocks. But let's take a step back, literally, and talk about the main change here. So the aquascape. Aquascape is quite different if you compare it to the previous video. I've moved a lot of things around, and I've introduced a lot of coral from my farm. So I haven't bought a single coral in, I don't know, maybe a year. Okay, maybe 6 months, but they went to the farm, and everything else is grown in my farm. So you can see all those colonies. These colonies have come from the farm, and the farm, I'm trying to empty it and get those colonies where I can enjoy them the most. Now, there's also some torches. I finally introduced a couple of more torches here, and I found a good spot for them in the corner here where there's not bombardment of the flow. I also have introduced a lot of mature colonies. You can see some of them I think will take a little bit of time to color up, but I'm taking my time. My most important goal is just to make sure that nothing dies. And there's some high-end corals here as well. So I'll shoot another video later on in more blue color, but this is the orange passion, which is probably one of my absolute favorite corals. Marvin the Martian, quite a few other fancy ones. I've also introduced this little island, which is all frags. I've had this particular structure with me for quite some time, and I think I found a good spot for it. Now look at this. This is the forest fire digitata. I did make an experiment where I brought a colony in here, and guess what? It closed off almost immediately. This guy is semi-closed off, but I'm just curious what is going on here. I haven't seen anybody pecking at it. My Fox Flame has been doing just fine. Here's Speak of the Devil. He's right there. But for whatever reason, I introduced the Forest Fire digitata and closes off almost immediately. Like we're talking 10-15 minutes. And yet other polyp extensions are just fine. Now, overall, everything else is okay. My Mr. Fuzzy, or Dr. Fuzzy here, has also been closed off, but when I move it to my farm, it opens up almost immediately. So I don't know, maybe there is something to this, but one way to check it out is just to continue the process. You may also notice that the water is a little bit cloudy, and that is because I've done a lot of planting, a lot of moving things around, but I think things have really settled in. I've got kind of softies on both sides of the tank. I've got the SPS in the middle, and right now I'm just kind of recording it to come back and see where the progress is, let's say a month from now. But I try to do these videos weekly, and there's always some sort of thing I'm dealing with. So we'll see what will happen next. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.